Day 8 of eating only veggie meals for the month of January. I'm eating my cabbage soup for dinner, but for lunch I made glazed butternut squash and Brussels sprouts. I removed the skin and diced up a butternut squash. I used Brussels sprouts, red onion and pepper, soy sauce, honey, salt, cinnamon, and black pepper. To a pan I laid out my Brussels sprouts and butternut squash. Now you can also use an air fryer for this too. I also chopped my Brussels sprouts in half, but you can leave them whole if you like. Next I sprinkled red onion only over the Brussels sprout, and then the red bell pepper went only over the squash. Next I sprinkled a nice amount of cinnamon over the squash, and then over the Brussels sprouts I sprinkled a little salt and black pepper. I poured avocado oil over the entire pan, but you can use olive oil as well. And then with clean hands, I pat all of the seasonings in. I baked everything in the oven until everything was soft when I stuck a fork in. For the glaze, I used a little butter, not a lot. I melted it down and then I added honey. Next, I mixed in soy sauce and then I sprinkled in some cinnamon. I mixed everything in well together and then I let it come to a boil. I let it go for about 2.5 minutes, making sure to stir every 30 seconds. Once the glaze was done, I took it off the heat and took my veggies out the oven. I mixed the butternut squash in with the Brussels sprouts to make like a medley. I plate them up and then I put the glaze on top. You can actually put the glaze onto the sheet pan. I just didn't want most of my glaze to live on that pan. Now, I've never actually had butternut squash before today, and I've never ever made it. But I really had a taste for Brussels sprouts, and the butternut squash is right there by you. And when I say this was so good, I'm not over exaggerating. This will actually be added to my list of things to make outside of January. See you tomorrow for day 9.